Imagine a world where presidential debates are nothing but political theater, void of truth and no one held accountable for their words. Scary, right? Well, that's exactly what happened in the debate between Trump and Harris. Both candidates made false claims to mislead the public. So, let's have a fact check session. Number 1, Trump claimed, "We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history." Is that true? Not exactly. It's right that inflation peaked at around 9% in June 2022, which was high, but it's far from the worst. Inflation was higher after World War II and during the late 70s and early 80s, when it hit 14.5%. Number 2, Harris claimed that Trump wants a 20% tax on everyday goods that would cost families around $4,000 more a year. Is that true? Yes, but it needs some context. Trump has proposed a 10 to 20% tariff on all U.S. imports, from cars to food. He also suggested a 60% tariff on imports from China. While Harris calls this Trump's sales tax, Trump hasn't explicitly labeled it that way. But would it raise prices? Absolutely. Economists agree that these tariffs would make everyday goods more expensive for consumers. Now, how much would it cost families? Estimates vary, with some saying it could add anywhere from $1,700 to $4,000 a year in extra costs, depending on the study. It's also important to note Trump hasn't proposed direct tax hikes on families. In fact, he suggested extending tax cuts from 2017 and exempting Social Security benefits and tips from taxes. Number 3, Harris claimed that Trump left the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Is that true? Not exactly, but it needs some context. It's right that unemployment hit 14.8% in April 2020, the highest since the Great Depression. But that was during the height of the pandemic, and by the time Trump left office in January 2021, unemployment had dropped to 6.4% as the economy began to recover. And what if we ignore the pandemic? Trump's lowest unemployment rate was 3.5%, just slightly higher than Biden's low of 3.4%. So, while Harris is technically right about that brief spike, the bigger picture tells a different story. Number 4, Trump claimed Haitian migrants in Ohio are eating pets. Is this true? No, it's absolutely false and baseless. There are no credible reports of pets being harmed by migrants. There have been no verified incidents of animal abuse, illegal squatting, or traffic disruptions by immigrants. Rumors spread online and were amplified by political figures, but the images used to support these claims are misleading. The police department has reported no pet thefts or abuse, and the city even set up a web page to debunk these claims. Migrants have moved to the area for its affordable cost of living and job opportunities. The city estimates around 12,000 to 15,000 immigrants live there, legally, and many have temporary protected status. Number 5, Harris claimed, "What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends to implement if re-elected." Is that accurate? Not quite. Trump has stated he doesn't know about Project 2025, a controversial plan for a potential Trump administration. Although many of his former aides and allies wrote the 900-page document, Trump has never endorsed it or said he would implement it if elected again. In fact, he's claimed it's unrelated to his campaign and that he's never even read it. Number 6, Harris claimed, if Donald Trump were re-elected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Is that true? No, it's false and misleading. Trump has stated he has no regrets about selecting Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. However, he has also promised not to sign a federal abortion ban and to leave the issue to the states. Number 7, Trump claimed, they didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan. Is that accurate? Yes, but with some context. No one directly involved in the chaotic 2021 withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan has faced public consequences. Trump is likely referring to a suicide bombing that killed 13 U.S. service members. U.S. Central Command found the bombing was not preventable and that a Marine sniper team had mistakenly believed they had the bomber in their sights. Trump, along with other Republicans, argue that the investigations haven't gone far enough. Number 8. Trump claimed that Harris wants to ban fracking. Is that accurate? Harris did advocate for banning fracking during a 2019 CNN town hall while she was a senator. She supported California's efforts to stop fracking when she was the state's attorney general. However, her stance changed after she became Biden's running mate. By October 2020, Harris stated that neither she nor Biden would ban fracking. She repeated this position during the debate. So, Trump's claim is partially true but outdated, as Harris has since revised her position. Number 9. Harris claimed that if Trump were elected, he would be immune from criminal prosecution. Is that true? Well, partly. The Supreme Court's June decision granted broad protections for presidential powers like making treaties, vetoing bills, and acting as commander-in-chief. It also confirmed that presidents have presumptive immunity for official acts within their duties. However, the court made it clear that presidents are not above the law and do not have absolute immunity. There are still narrow cases where a president could face criminal prosecution, and unofficial acts are not protected. Trump currently faces federal criminal charges brought by special counsel Jack Smith. The Supreme Court's decision doesn't prevent these cases from moving forward, but does complicate and delay the process. If Trump were re-elected, he could potentially dismiss the special counsel through his Justice Department, which could end the cases against him. Number 10. Trump claimed that Harris and Walz support abortion in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th month, and probably after birth. Is this true? No, it's false. No state allows killing a baby after birth. Infanticide is illegal in all 50 states. Trump's claim severely misrepresents the situation. Access to late-term procedures is limited, costly, and usually done only when the mother's life is at risk or the fetus won't survive. Number 11. Trump claimed he lost the 2020 election on a technicality because judges said he lacked standing in election lawsuits. Is that accurate? No, it's false. Trump lost the 2020 election because Biden secured 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. Trump and his allies filed over 60 lawsuits challenging the election results. Most were dismissed or withdrawn, often because the plaintiffs couldn't prove a direct connection to the issue they were challenging. Lacking standing is a common legal reason for dismissal. Number 12. Harris claimed that Trump said climate change is a hoax. Is she right? Yes, it's true. Trump has repeatedly called climate change a hoax. Trump has also tweeted about the global warming hoax and called global warming an expensive hoax. He even stated he doesn't believe in climate change and accused it of benefiting China. So does Trump's record on climate change back up Harris's claim? Absolutely. So, where are we standing? It's no secret that politicians lie or, at the very least, exaggerate. In politics, where rhetoric often overshadows reality, fact-checking is not just a tool, it's a necessity. As we've seen in the Harris-Trump debate, claims can be exaggerated, misrepresented, or simply false. The truth? It's not always black and white, but it's essential to sift through the noise. So why does this matter? Because when politicians make sweeping statements or bold claims, we have to dig deeper. So next time you hear a headline or a bold claim, remember, the devil is in the details.